Greetings, Marsh here, and welcome to episode 108 of my modded Factorio playthrough. Enjoy.
It's going to be amazing having rails all over the place. We can just ride trains wherever we need to go instead of drive. It's going to be great. Even if it's long and convoluted pathing, you know, just select the destination and then lean back and go make a sandwich or something. Be much easier than this. Okay, I was like, are we going the right way? But we are. It's just kind of a choke point down here. Okay, that's a lot of trees. It's gonna be a lot of miners too, man. Okay, basically get rid of all of this. It's pretty much all gonna be in the way in some way or another. Okay. Where do we want to put this loading station? Is that natural gas pretty good? Yeah. Man, that's a big stereotype patch too. Kind of want to do the station straight up, but we can't really. Because we don't have a landfill right now. It's out the base. Should have brought it, but... how big are these stations approximately? So that's like 2 mouse widths. Oh, but then it's the other way. It should fit right here. Hopefully we're not going to block those natural gas things. I really don't want to. Man, we're actually going to have to wait for all the robots to do their thing. Okay, so let's start placing things. Well, kind of, but we need to actually take care of all that too. So probably should just drive forward. Let the robots all chase the truck down. There we go. Place it there. Wow, this is going to be... yeah, we're going to use all of our miners just on this patch right here. Well then, no regrets from building all of these. I mean, we could potentially save some miners by just picking up all the ones that are on the infinite ore, since we won't be doing that, at least in the most immediate sense. And so, if in the event we don't have enough miners, we probably can move things around a little bit just to save a trip from going back to the base. Okay, what are we looking at? 50 miners or so. And it's, I don't think, going to be enough for a sapphirite patch there. Oh well. It's not that big a deal. We're going to have to go back to the sapphirite patch anyway in order to build the rails and all that. So we can just we can just build a few more mining drills and deliver those drills. So we don't have to hack this up or anything. Let's find out what kind of crazy balancer we're going to have to build with a mining base this big. I need more belts again. Oh, looks like we're going to run out. So how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that even a balancer? Well, I'm sure someone's done it, but let's check to see. Seems like kind of a weird thing. And since this last belt isn't very high throughput, we can just kind of patch it in haphazardly. Just so we can use the existing balancer that's not too crazy. So let's design that balancer here. Okay, let's just build it right here. It'll be an 8 to 6. So... kind of goes like that, and then that space does stay empty. There's kind of some awkward empty spaces in this. As far as I can tell, this is how it's supposed to be. Wish I could test it first, but the thing that was catching me is this. It looks like it could be slightly straighter. Like, why not place this here and then place that guy right there? I mean, and while you're at it, can't you just place this guy right here? Like, isn't that identical to how it was, just with the machines placed down a little bit? So if that's the case, this doesn't even need to do this wiggle. It can just go straight across. Oops, and this needs to go right there. And then this one can kind of go down and in there. I don't know, it just seems straighter this way. Based on the other design, I don't see any reason why I can't, because this space is still here like it's supposed to be, so... Yeah, and those spaces do have to exist, so... Can kind of make it a little easier by having that one there. Yeah, and can't this one go right there? I don't know, I like to minimize the underground length if possible. I know it's slightly worse for performance, but I like seeing what's on the belts than not seeing. Huh, seems good. It's kind of a weird looking design. I'll give you that. It's strange looking. But I am thankful to whoever designed that, because I didn't want to have to do that myself. So let's make another blueprint. We'll call this the 8 to 6. Okay. So now we need to actually make it here. So it looks like it's going to be centered right here. Then we'll do, oh, I don't know, something like this. Slightly reduced output, but for balancer reasons, let's go with that. Let's place our 8 to 6 balancer down. It looks like it fits. And then we'll see if we won our 25% chance lottery again, and the loading station fits. Nope, it needs to be up or down by 1. Otherwise, it's pretty good. Okay. Yeah. Let's try this. So our 8 to 6. And does the loading station fit? Yep, looks like it. Thank you, Factorio Wiki. And while that's happening, place lots and lots and lots of power poles. Okay, that pole's in the wrong spot because the power isn't connected. Looks like it's wrong right here. That's a lot of no power signals. Okay, the train. Okay. Whew, that was a big one. But we're good. Let's move down here and take care of the solar panel damage. Okay. You may now fix the panels. What? Huh. Was the math not done correctly? Like it was right there. Oh, it's possible. Oh, I see what it was. See how the construction range of this didn't go all the way, so it didn't quite tell us the proper number. Oof. That's unfortunate, because now we're going to have to go back. Now, let's move things around a little bit. Can we at least make the regular panel the large, it looks like? Yes. We just don't have any batteries or anything. Oh wait, that's not a large, that's a medium. Sigh. Okay. Okay. So we're short 3 more accumulators, so we're going to have to come back here again. But now it's proper that this is telling us the final number. Oh, that was a small oversight. Oh well. I guess it's not that big a deal because we had to pass through here anyway. It's just unfortunately going to require one more trip, which is a little frustrating. Because I don't think this is a location that's going to be getting any train tracks, so... Oh well. Okay. Saphirite. Our last thing we need to set up mining for. Let's see what kind of resources we're short on. So let's pick up all of this. And where to put the train station? Will it fit going straight up? It might. Well, we've got the pattern here. Well, if it doesn't, it'll be good enough. It should be pretty close. We can try to minimize the amount of landfill by not placing these too high. There we go, something like that. Alright, so we're not going to have enough of these, but we can try to count to see how many we're short on. And go from there. Should probably face them this way, just to make it a little better with the belts. So we're actually substantially short on miners here. It's hard to guess things perfectly. Okay, well, let's see. Well, since we have that line good, let's pick up a bunch of these. And I'll just write down how many I'm picking up. We picked up 35, so we know we need at least 35 more. Let's see, one thing we can do is place all of the belts down. If we even have enough for those, doesn't look like we're going to. The belts will help remind us where the miners are supposed to go. It's probably going to go like to down in there or something. Okay, so we're out of miners again, so let's pick up all the ones we placed, which are in the correct locations, and write that number down again. This is basically the process for figuring out exactly how many miners we need when we don't have enough. Since we're here and we don't have enough miners, I figure we might as well calculate the exact number. Okay, and that is 50 exactly. So write that down. And then we place them. Okay, place another belt. And then pick up all these ones we don't need, or we need, but the rows are complete. And we have 54. So write that number down. And then keep placing. Okay, and then what we're left with is 19, which we will take away from the numbers. Math here is 35 plus 50 plus 54 minus 19. 120. So, fingers crossed, if I've done that math right, we need 120 more miners. That's not 120 in total, just that many more. Well, I guess we'll find out. Wouldn't be the end of the world if we had to come back here again. It's really not that important that this be perfectly optimized in the beginning, because we're just not going to be mining stuff that quickly until the base is fully assembled, so it's really not that important. But let's see if we can build, or at least figure out what we're short on, as it pertains to, well, there's that, as it pertains to the train station. Okay, well, we're quite short. So there's that. No red belts at all. We might be short on some other things. It's worth testing. I'm just gonna grab some belts. Doesn't look like we need that many, so if we just pull a couple of stacks with us and we'll figure it out. So we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need a 6 to 6. Okay. Just want to place that there. So there's our 6 to 6. Can place that and see if the train station fits. It does. Oh, decent luck, considering we didn't have enough supplies. But it doesn't quite fit otherwise, but that's okay. Actually, a lot of that isn't really necessary. So we can just place that. Okay, I'm gonna grab some of these belts. Probably shouldn't grab them in an awkward spot like that. Might forget that it's not complete. Let me grab this. And this will just be, this doesn't have to be a landfill, that can be a bridge section. So, can we build a bridge section? Possibly. Yes, we can. There we go. That's in there, and that'll just allow us to place the train down. Okay, so what are we short on? Oh, okay. Just belts. The thing we didn't know how many we needed. That's actually pretty awesome, so it means that we are pretty good with everything else, and let's just pick everything up and see how we did. Okay. Seems pretty good. The only thing is we have some power poles, but we still need to place them here. I'm thinking, how awkward would it be just to place them as is? It might be weird, but that's actually plenty of power poles and lights. That's all we're gonna need, so we can just keep those in the truck. Can kind of clean this truck up a little bit. Just kind of move things around and make them a little cleaner. Something like that. So these power poles we can just hold on to, and same with the lights. And the rest of this is just kind of extra. Pretty good. So we can get our balancer book and put the 7 to 6 in there. I guess it would fit right there. And then that 8 to 6, which can fit in there. And then it just counts down. So there's our balancer book. So yeah, we need to bring 224 belts, which isn't much. We'll just, I don't know, bring 1,000 belts or something. It's not that important. We're going to use those belts almost immediately. And specifically building 120 miners. So, and we need those 3 accumulators as well. But that was a pretty productive building session. It's a little sad we didn't have quite enough, but that does kind of show you the disadvantage to just guessing on parts. We only had to guess on like 2 things really, well, a couple, but it was all based on mining. We didn't know how many miners, how many belts for the miners, and also power lines and lights. Let's see, what's the easy way to get back? Oh, it just left. But power lines and lights are easy to make, so we just brought too many. But you see, belts and miners we were wrong on. So imagine if we had to guess for all of our supplies. We would be constantly getting them wrong, and almost constantly not making enough. So luckily, this isn't going to happen very often, because almost everything we're going to build is going to be something we've pre-planned ahead of time, and we already know exactly how many we need. So there shouldn't be too much more of this. I mean, some things like, you know, bricks and clay bricks for pathways and stuff, we're just going to kind of guess on how much we need. Basically, bring a lot is what we're going to do. But as far as the more complicated machines, there's no lights here. We will know exactly how many to bring, so there won't be any surprises like that. Because Factorio works best when you've planned everything and it all goes according to plan. So now we've got a couple awkward moments of building some things. Oh. Well, there's two. Well, just pick them all up and put one back because we know there are three. Okay. So we can put our number 3 in there. Actually, I'll mark it as a special spot. And now it's just kind of cleaning up the inventory, taking all our junk and sticking them back in boxes. And getting ready for the next project here. Let's see, so we wanted 1,000 belts, but I'm actually thinking, before we do the belts, let's build all of those miners. So let's kind of do it like we did before, where we build them one step at a time, just to make sure. How are we on resources? Pretty good. Everything seems to be moving smoothly. What about that slag? It's crunching down, but actually 12k, so once it gets to 10k, it should stop. So we're actually almost caught up on landfill here. 11k's worth. And it looks like we don't really need the landfill anymore unless we're going to move some of those stations we just built. But we can move them later. If they're in the way, like, we can just easily pick up a station and move. Well, it's not that easy, but we can move it. It's not the end of the world if we have to. So I'm not too concerned. Let's see, silo. Plastic is slowly going up. It's basically only going up because either carbon dioxide is running high or mineralized water is running high, which is as a result of other processes. So it's only going up because of byproducts. Okay, that's everything. That was a lot faster to do than before, but that's because our factory has a bit of a buffer inside these machines, so it's not too much of the end of the world to big construction queues for fairly short term. We can withstand that. But we're about ready to plan the next step, but for now I just want to see how the factory's doing. Warehouse is kind of filling up a little bit. It might be a little bit of preventative maintenance. Yeah, to just build another warehouse. I'm pretty sure we used the warehouse that was in the truck. So I'm going to build another one and I guess find out if there's one hanging around in the truck. So how much brick are we actually building? Okay, 4k of brick at a time. That's pretty good. Because we're going to need a ton of brick and a ton of clay for clay paths. Basically for planning the bus in the same way that we're doing it now, where we have the clay showing where the belts go and the stone showing where the undergrounds go. We're gonna basically do the same thing. So we're gonna need, and since it's gonna be a very large bus compared to what we have here, we're gonna need a great deal of bricks and things. And although we can make them relatively quickly, when you need like 4,000 of them, you might actually have to wait a little while to make that many. And it's a little frustrating to have to wait for something like that, so kind of worried that we're like never gonna use all of this hydrogen, but I don't want to waste it. And you know, in the event we don't need these barrels anymore, we can just turn them back into steel, so it's not the end of the world. But some landfill out of there. How many bricks did we end up making? Okay, good. Or clay. 10,000. Great. I knew we would need a lot, and actually that process is fairly slow. It's meant to be balanced, not fast. So in the event we hadn't done that, we might have had to wait for it, so it's good to know that it's done. Okay, so we have our miners. Basically, from here, we just need to pick up a bunch of red belts. And let's just say 1,000. And now it's a process of cleaning up the inventory. I'm not worried about running back there this very second to fix everything because, you know, they're not even connected to power, so it's not like anything's gonna happen if we finish the building. And we're already going back there when we build the tracks. So let's just leave it for now and clean up the inventory here. And more trees. Like, short term, 26k trees. We're good. We don't have to worry about trees for now. And since we have everything we need, let's just run around filling up the inventory. It's nice having these couple stacks of random things in case you need to build something. You like to just, even though there's a spot on the truck for some of these things, I like to just pick up the extras and place them in the machines here. Because we're going to grab them for our next project. But some of the things you do use very commonly, it's nice to have a little slot for them. Okay, so it looks like we didn't have a silo in there, so feels good about that. So where do we go from here? Well, we have a rail network we need to build. Looks like we don't need these markings for the different mining zones anymore. These stations have random names, but they'll get the name of the thing we're mining from them, so it'll make more sense. I think those are early access supporter names that are in there, all the random train station names. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks good. So it'll make more sense later, but yeah, now we need to connect all these by rail. It's not that this is a complicated process, but it is something new. So let's save that for the next episode. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.